Yashodanandana Vrajajanandana Jaya Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Guru Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol. संकीर्तन की प्रभुपाद की टैगोर प्रमाणते। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Hare Krishna. So, first of all, let me thank His HG Krishna Prabhu and the entire congregation for giving me this opportunity to purify myself by repeating the words of our acharyas and words of Srila Prabhupada and our Gurujan. Of course, I'm not eligible for any discussion or any commentary on Bhagavad Gita. What all we have to do is just repeat the words of our acharyas and try to understand their mood so that we can uh, grasp whatever they wanted to convey and whatever Krishna wanted to convey through the scriptures. So I'm going to make this attempt, and before we start, let me seek for apologies if I go wrong anywhere. You are all learned Vaishnavas. Please point out if I am going wrong anywhere, and we will correct the boards. So we want to look at the 21st shloka of and the chapter of Bhagavad Gita today. Kindly repeat after me. आदित्यानामहं विष्णु ज्योतिषां रविरंशुमान् मरीचिर्मरुतास्मि नक्षत्राणामहं शशि आदित्यानामहं विष्णु ज्योतिषां रविरंशुमान् मरीचिर्मरुतामस्मि नक्षत्राणामहं शशि आदित्यानामहं विष्णु ज्योतिषां रविरंशुमान् मरीचिर्मरुतामस्मि नक्षत्राणामहं शशि
आदित्यानामहं विष्णु
आदित्यानामहं विष्णु ज्योतिषां रविरंशुमान् मरीचिर्मरुतामस्मि नक्षत्राणामहं शशि 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 Synonyms: Adityanam, of the Adityas. Aham, I am. Vishnu, the Supreme Lord. Jyotisham, of all luminaries. Ravi, the sun. Amshuman, radiant. Marichi, Marutam, of the Maruts. Asmi, I am. Nakshatranam, of the stars. Aham, I am. Shashi, the moon. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi. and among the stars, I am the moon. Purport. There are 12 Adityas, of which Krishna is the principal. Among all the luminaries twinkling in the sky, the sun is the chief, and in the Brahma Samhita, the sun is accepted as the glowing eye of the Supreme Lord. There are 50 varieties of wind blowing in space, and of those winds, the controlling deity, Marichi, represents Krishna. Among the stars, the moon is the most prominent at night, and thus the moon represents Krishna. It appears from this verse that the moon is one of the stars. Therefore, the stars that twinkle in the night in the sky also reflect the light of the sun. The theory that there are many suns within the universe is not accepted by Vedic literature. The sun is one, and as by the reflection of the sun the moon illuminates, so also do the stars. Since Bhagavad Gita indicates herein that the moon is one of the stars, the twinkling stars are not suns but are similar to the moon. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च श्रीकृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधव Hare Krishna. So we are going to look at, as we said, the 10th chapter, verse number 21. Before that, let me wish you all a very Krishna conscious Diwali. It is the today's day when the Damodar Leela took place, and this is not a Damodar Leela Arati, so I will not repeat the entire Leela here, but Krishna, through his Leelas, always uh, uh, teaches us that by pure love towards Krishna, he can be bound. He has shown all the humanly emotions during this Leela. He has shown anger, he has shown fear, he has shown compassion, and through this Leela, we have seen that how pure love of his mother Yashoda had compelled Krishna to surrender to. So Krishna has demonstrated here that surrender is two-way. If we are really in deep prem bhakti in Krishna, with Krishna, he can also surrender to such a devotee. And so I wish you all and your families here and back in India a very very happy Diwali, and may this Diwali light all your hearts and your homes like Krishna does in our lives. So let's come back to this 10th chapter. Uh, Before going to the 10th chapter, let us quickly see what did we see in the ninth chapter. In the ninth chapter, we saw that Krishna had given us various uh, deep knowledge, the king of knowledge and the king of secrets. He had given us that he has explained the types of bhakti. If you remember, he has explained the types of devotees. He has explained, he has given the Aishwarya Gyan to us in the ninth chapter, and which has continued in the 10th chapter, where Krishna says, "I am going to give you more elaborate knowledge on myself." And then he continues saying, in the first part of this chapter, he is uh, telling us how we cannot understand, yeah, how unknowable is Krishna. He says in the second shloka, "Name vidu suragana prabham namamasha." So he's saying, even to the greatest sages and greatest demigods cannot understand me. And then he continues to tell how he is the source of everything. And then we get into the Chatushloki Gita, which is the summary of the entire Gita. And this has uh, induced a sense of surrender in Arjuna. And then Arjuna is praising Krishna, saying, you are the whole and soul, you are the everything. And then he's saying, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Param Bhava. So he's saying, now I'm understanding you, and you are the greatest. Now tell me about your opulences. Now this we saw all this. I'm just kind of recapping this. So he does this only for the understanding of common people like us, so that we really realize, we understand the greatness, the supremacy of Krishna. Why do we call him the supreme personality of Godhead? So Krishna also does not leave any stone unturned. He's agreed to give him all the information that he needs. And then Krishna says, "I'm going to give you in brief, only as token, my opulences." So Krishna is all pervading. If he starts giving his entire opulence to us, we will not be able to even perceive. We cannot even understand. So Krishna is giving us only the glimpses of his opulences, and he starts with the 21st shloka, and then he continues until the almost the end of the chapter, until the 39th shloka, and he gives us uh, various fields, various aspects. How is he going to display the supremacy? How is he going to explain us his opulences? And the chapter is also named the opulence of the absolute. So let us see, how do we read these verses where Krishna is giving us the opulences. The simple way to understand is that Krishna is actually describing his infinite opulences, or vibhutis as they are called. And for understanding, it is presented in broad category, and the representative of that category is Krishna. For instance, for example, in this 21st chapter, we will see he is saying, I am the sun amongst all the luminaries. So luminary is a category, and he is the representative of that category. So he's the sun. It means that the sun is the chief of all the luminaries, and thus represents the supreme Lord Krishna. So likewise, we have to read all the verses until 39th verse, where Krishna is going to talk about different categories. We'll see in the next slide what categories is he going to touch on. And these are, as I said, these are only few glimpses. These are not even the tip of the iceberg. This is perhaps the uh, the smallest atom of what he is. So he is. Let's see what categories he is going to cover in the next few shlokas. He is going to cover demigods. So he will say who is the representative from the demigods, which is Krishna. Then he's going to cover stages. He's going to cover humans and kings. He's going to cover animals, laws and crime, qualities, nature, philosophical truths, and Vedic mantras. So all these categories he's going to cover one by one in the coming shlokas until the 39th shloka. Today's shloka we are going to see the nature category. We are going to see the see Krishna's opulences in the nature. So let's come to the main uh, shloka, and we'll let us try to see what is the focus of the entire shloka. Now, Krishna is talking about four things here. He is talking about Adityas. Then he's saying there are total 12 Adityas. We'll come to the Adityas also next slides. So there are 12 Adityas, and he is the principal one, which is Vaman or Vishnu. Then, out of all the luminaries, he is the sun. There are so many luminaries twinkling in the sky. So, he is the sun. Then, there are 50 Maruts, the 50 wind gods. There are various types of winds, and every wind is headed by a Marut. And he is the controlling deity, which is called Marichi. So, he says, I am the Marichi. Marichi represents Krishna. And he talks about the position of moon. So it is one of the stars, which implies that there is only one sun in the universe. We'll come to that in the next slides. All right, so let's see who are these Adityas. So Adityas are the 12 sons of Aditi, who is the wife of Kashyap. And Kashyap Muni had one more wife called Diti, and this is Aditi is the mother of the gods, and the Diti was mother of the demons. So there are these 12 Adityas who represent various different departments, and they also represent uh, various months of the year. And it so happened that Bali was actually conquering all these gods and demigods. And one fine day, they were all defeated. And Aditi was very pious, so she used to uh, do a very divine Krishna Bhakti. She used to be a divine devotee of very elevated devotee of Vishnu, and she was praying Lord Vishnu to come and help. So Vishnu appeared, and he agreed to come in the form of Vamana, and then we know the story of Vaman Dev. So that Vaman is the Krishna, is what Krishna is saying in this Gita. Out of all the 12 Adityas, I am the Vaman, I am the Vishnu. So he is uh, the most prominent, the most strongest amongst all the Adityas, and Krishna is saying, I am that Aditya. So let's see what he means there. What is the learning here? Krishna is the supreme Vaman amongst all the 12 Adityas, and these Adityas are the solar deities. And he is, by being the head of the solar deities, he is providing what? He's providing life to us. He's providing light, and with the light of the sun, the whole universe, all the universes, they run, right? So we will also see there are other references about sun which have been made in Brahma Samhita, and there have been some purports which we will go through. So each Aditya represents different life aspect, and Krishna's quality reflects this. So Krishna is showing us various life aspects through these Adityas, and the most prominent one is the sun. And Krishna says, "I am the son of all the Adityas." So let us see. There are a couple of references. I said in Brahma Samhita, there's a purport by His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, where he says, uh, "Can you read the shloka, please?"
यः यच्चक्षुरेष सविता सकलग्रहाणां राजा समस्तसुरमूर्तिरशेषतेजः यस्याज्ञया भवति सम्प्रतकालचक्रो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि.
Thank you. So it says, the sun who is the king of all planets, full of infinite effulgence, and the image of the good soul, is as the eye of this world. I adore the primal Lord Govinda in persons of those whose order the sun performs his journey mounting the wheel of time. So we have seen here let us see the purport of His Divine Grace Bhakti Saraswati Prabhupada. Certain professors of the Vedic religion worship the sun as Brahman. The sun is one of the hierarchy of the five gods. Some people target in heat the source of his world and therefore designate the sun, the only location of the heat, as the root cause of this world. So the sun is the root cause of this world, and as we know, Krishna is the root of everything. Notwithstanding all that may be said to the contrary, the sun is, after all, only the presiding deity of a sphere of the sum total of all mundane heat, and is hence a god exercising delegated authority. The sun performs his specific functions of service certainly by the command of Govinda. So sun operates with the command of Krishna, command of Govinda. Also, Srila Prabhupada has given mentioned in his purport of the shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam 8.5.136. He has referred Brahma Samhita in that purport, and there he says, "The sun, full of infinite effulgence, is the king of all the planets and the image of the good soul. The sun is like the eyes of the Supreme Lord." So this is most important. The purport says the sun is like eyes of Krishna, because through sun we see everything, right? Because of sun we see everything. So that is the eye of Krishna. Further, he says, "I adore the primal Lord Govinda in persons of those of whose order the sun performs his journey, mounting the wheels of time." The sun is actually the eye of the Lord. In the Vedic mantras, it is said that unless the Supreme Personality of Godhead sees, no one can see. Unless there is sunlight, no living entity on any planet can see. Therefore, the sun is considered to be the eye of the Supreme Lord. That is confirmed here by the words Yat Chakshur Asit. So this is from the Srimad Bhagavatam shloka, and in the Brahma Samhita by the words Yat Chakshur Esha Savita. The word Savita means the sun god. So Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur Prabhupada have confirmed what Gita has mentioned about the sun god, and that Krishna is the sun amongst all the suns. The next Krishna mentions is about the Marichi and the Maruts. So I made a brief mention about the Maruts. Maruts are the wind gods. They are the gods of. They are the heads of different types of winds that are that exist in the universe. There's a small story. Some of you, many of you probably would know that, but only for understanding, I will just repeat that story here. The second wife of Kashyap Muni, who was Diti, and she was the mother of all the demons. And Indra was very powerful, and Indra was defeating the demons. So, and also Vishnu had killed both of her sons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So she was very agitated, and she went to her husband. She demanded for a son who could kill Indra. And uh, Kashyap, she gave her uh, a condition. She said, "Okay, you will get such a son, provided you do all the austerities that I tell you." And these austerities were very harsh and very tough. And the austerities, there were a number of activities that she had to do. She had to sleep on the floor. She had to uh, only she had to take bath before she eats anything. She cannot eat any stale food. She cannot eat from anybody's. She could not eat any meat. She had to be vegetarian. She had to do. Then there was a long list of austerities, and uh, all this was to be done for 10,000 years. This was the condition. So she agreed for all this, and she started doing all the austerities very, very particularly, very meticulously. And she was pregnant, and Indra's mother Aditi told Indra that your stepmother is doing this austerities to get a son who can kill you. So you have to do something for that. And then Krishna goes to Diti, and he agrees to become her servant, and he serves Diti very nicely, and he wins her over. And one fine day, when Diti was sleeping, Indra entered into her womb, and he actually, with his vajra, he cut her womb into seven pieces, and then again cut all these seven pieces into seven further pieces. So it made 7 by 7, 49 pieces, and they were still alive. The fetus was still alive, and the fetus was crying. So Indra was telling them Marud. In Sanskrit, Marud means don't cry, because your mother will wake up. And then Indra came out of the womb and escaped. So, okay, one of the conditions of Kashyap Muni to Diti was, if you break your austerity, all your sons will become the devotee of Indra. So this was one of the conditions that he had put. So uh, when uh, uh, when Indra came out, and when all these 49 sons took birth, they were called Maruts, because Indra had called them Maru. So these 49 sons, they represent various events, and they, instead of killing Indra, they became Indra's devotee, and they finally became devotees of Vishnu. So this is the story of Maruts, and this is the so Marichi is their head, and Marichi is the Manas Putra of Brahma. So he is the head of all the Maruts. So Krishna says, out of all the Maruts, I am the Marichi. I am the head. I am the representative of all these Maruts. So this is the story about Marutas. Uh, what is the learning here from the Marut and Marichi? The Marichi is the deity of winds, and he represents Krishna, because Krishna controls the entire nature. And this is what we need to know. If Krishna is Marichi, is controlling all events, he is controlling all the nature. During the Golden Leela also, Krishna calls upon the wind uh, to stop the rains, and illustrating his command over natural forces. His actions, such as calming the Yamuna waters and pleasing the gopis with gentle breeze. So he is controlling all sorts of winds, and he is using them for his different leelas. Let us see about the moon. There are some controversies regarding the moon and the definition of the moon and the Bhagavad Gita definition of the Vedic definitions of the moon, etc. So here Krishna says, "I am the moon. I am uh, the head," and we always learned in the school that only suns are stars, and every universe has a sun, right? But the Vedic literature declines this. The Vedic literature says only sun is the sun god, and who is Krishna, and all the other universes they have some stars which are like twinkling stars, like moon, and they take the light from sun and they reflect the light from the sun. So if sun stops working, all the universes will stop working. So this is a theory. This is a Vedic theory, and the modern scientists they have a different theory that every universe has a different sun, and uh, and moon is not considered as a star, but Gita says something different, and the Vedic literature says something different. So all the stars are like moon. So every universe which has a star which is giving light to that particular universe is compared to the moon, and because the moon is the brightest, it represents Krishna, and that is why moon is the Krishna represents the moon. Sorry. Uh, so the Vedic astronomers, as I said, they follow a different theory, but we follow the Vedic theory, and Krishna is out of all the moons. Krishna is. So what is the learning here? Again, Krishna's beauty is likened to the moon, right? And it symbolizes peace and joy. During the Govan Puja, Krishna lifts the hill embodying the moon's nurturing qualities and offering shelter and comfort to the residents of Vrindavan, showcasing this protective nature. So this is a very simple, small shloka which talks about some of Krishna's opulences, and this will continue. This is the only first shloka where Krishna starts with his opulences, and then this will continue until the 39th shloka, and he will continue giving us various opulences. And yeah, I think that's all. That's that's all this shloka had to say, and I think we will wind up here. I know I'm a little before time, but if you have any shloka, any questions, queries, we can take those. Yes, yes. Thank you, Madhuri. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you so much for wonderful lecture. It was very detailed and very difficult to understand because I so deep. Slide number, I think, number 4, you mentioned about Vata, Aryama, Gita, and you given the ruling one. What's the relation of this? I mean,
They represent 1 month. See, there are 12 Adityas, and there are 12. So these 12 months are compared to the 12 wheels of the wheel, 12 spokes of the wheel of sun, and each month is controlled by a particular Aditya. So those are the names of those months which are controlled by that particular sun god, Aditya rather. Yes.
Related to
Sorry.
RT,
No. Hare Krishna. See, the entire 21st chapter of the fifth canto of Bhagavatam is talking about the motion, the movement of the sun. And these are, there is, it talks about the distances, it talks about the various stops that sun takes. It talks about the chariot of the sun. It talks about the sizes of those chariots. It talks about how many horses that chariot has and what are the names of those chariots. So it's all about the movement of the sun, and these months are also mentioned here. I just want-
give for this very detailed. So, absolutely, that's what I want to share. So, as I said, they are not accepting the modern science theology or the moon. So, just I will bring there something, I think, from the part of third chapter, now, I think, to so that in that purpose, because is mentioning, the modern scientists are saying the moon is only, there is nothing there, just it is a dust and stone. The sun is green. In that case, how is this unity, the power, the light from the sun is giving kinds of away to the earth. So we must understand the greatness of the moon. So there is scientists not accepting this modern science because modern scientists itself they are imperfect senses. Because of the imperfect senses, they are naming imperfect instruments like telescopes and all. So we cannot accept that one. So we will actually accept only the very things which is the problem. So that's what the and
Correction. So in Bhagavatam, they have given the distance of sun from the earth, and so that is considered as the radius. And if you look at the entire circle with that radius, it runs into some trillions of miles or kilometers, and that is the logic our acharyas have given, that sun can send his light to very far distances which we cannot even imagine. And this light is then taken by the respective stars in each universe, and they illuminate those universes with this light from the sun. And that is why, because Krishna is the life giver to all the universes, that is why Krishna is considered or Krishna is saying, I am the sun, because he is, through the sun, he is illuminating all the universes, not only our universe, but all the other universes. And all these suns in those particular universes are basically the stars, like what we have, the moon. So, and out of those all stars, Krishna is the moon, is what this verse says. Hare Krishna.
and also looking for like it is very subtle because when we read like yes, I you know, but if you go late and in the 90s, 50s time only, officially they are agreeing that that is restaurant party. Restaurant will, but because of all this very concept is saying, there is a hidden consideration, not from they are planning restaurant island. So the additional source of very much. So that's very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Initially, and something like that, later it was found that Everyone are told that they are human. We have our senses are human. So our senses are human. Example is that for any activity, time is like 20 years to one demand, so there are lots of waveforms they are finding out that as time pass, they are using the various slow to be the beauty of the X-ray, MRI. So MRI is not about going to the university, for anybody, and MRI is so powerful. Today's application, what we are using, even can find out various we have various test day somebody they are living a life. They are test when they like in India it is understood that some people are afraid to test monthly so that it's not my without compared to some theory you can find out from eBay the difference between talking that there are many things which one can say able to find out.
Yes.
We have to totally the nine planets. So these planets very intelligent. So other day I was using the actually very why you can handle eight, why not into it? So in that it says that there are nine planets and 12 planets. Present speed totally depends on our so we are chanting 108 rounds just to counteract the reaction of the so this is actually called by original. So these are all even though we learn that 108 rounds how we are doing it because even Krishna had been 108. I think that why is it talking that what the original good food is also 108. But there is a 908. Correct. And this is why is 108? The difference between us is 108 times the diameter of Sun. The difference between us and moon is 108 times the diameter of Earth. So scientifically it's true. Practical. So what has been proven in science, what we are realizing is that whatever the COVID of Purana are true. That's the
We are just re-establishing the information which we already had. Correct. Thank you so much. Thanks, Shambhu. Thanks, Shambhu.
it was very nice. The point completed on time. So regarding today we are discussing in the Surah about how the Lord is the sun and moon. Point 3, Krishna is saying about the yoga of the different यत् आदित्य कथम तेजो जगत आदित्य अतला यत् चंद्रांति यत् तपो तत् तेजो with amakam. The splendor of the sun which dissipates the darkness of this whole world comes from me. And the splendor of the moon and the splendor of fire are also from me. this program is very nicely put it down. The unintelligent cannot understand how things are being made, but one can begin to be establishing knowledge by understanding what the Lord explains here. Everyone sees the sun, moon, fire, and electricity. One should simply try to understand that the standard of the sun, the standard of the moon, and the standard of the electricity or fire are coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those are very easily how even a common man can easily understand about the Supreme Lord. In corporate mentioned, everybody we are seeing every day and moon and the fire, those are compared to the electricity. So you can see these standards all come from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this way, one can able to understand about the personality of Godhead. The next sloka also, Krishna explains that रामाविष्य भूतानि कार्याणि अहम भवतः कृष्णामि संस्कृते सर्व सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः. I enter into each planet and by my energy they stay also. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. So Guru nicely point out that modern scientists they are saying moon is just there is only for no it's not people cannot able to live there or some period modern scientists are saying. But here Krishna is confirming that with all the vegetation this is also practical. Uh, Anyone can able to understand that how the important the vegetation purpose of the moon is very important. So nowadays, even modern vegetation also, they are putting the light and for indoor vegetation also they put cover everything, they put the air, some lighting arrangements, they are making some illuminating color all from the moon only. So these are all the points we very clearly state that the intelligent person can easily able to understand by just reading the proper book, associating with the devotee. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Prabhuji for very wonderful time. So if there is no further,
Krishna doesn't need to give us any justification of what he is. He is above everything. He is the supreme, and he doesn't have to give us that information that I am this, I am that. This is just for our enhancement, because we are so fallen that unless we come to know that you are great, I will not respect you. So I was giving one example one of my last shloka, that when you come across a person every day, you don't know him, you just don't bother about him. You just give a smile, or probably you don't even give a smile. And the moment you come to know that he is the CEO of your own company, that time you will give all the respect, you will give him a chair, you will praise him, you will do everything. So until and unless we know the greatness of somebody, we don't even give respect in the material world. So this is totally transcendental world, this is a spiritual world, where if we do not know Krishna, how are we going to pursue our spiritual path? How are we going to really move towards, prema bhakti is very far away. How are we going to even do our sadhana if we don't know him? And that is why Krishna is so merciful, that he is telling us that this is I am. At least now you respect me, and now you start praying me. Now you start bhakti marg, you continue your spiritual path. So we are so fallen, and we need this very desperately. And this whole chapter is going to tell us how great Krishna is all throughout the chapter. And sorry, I finished it early because I do not have a habit of giving stories which are not related to the topic, and normally I will stick to the topic, and that's why I could finish a little early. So you have some ample time for a little more kirtan if you want. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and thank you for this opportunity, Prabhuji, to to um, as I said, I know we are not qualified for this Vyasasana, but I will keep making an attempt, and would like to hear from many of you in future. Hare Krishna, Nandana.
Definitely, we are very eager to hear from you, Prabhuji. Always you are giving very nicely you are explaining, as you mentioned that you are stick to that topic. That is also a lesson we have to learn. Also, when we hear from the who devotees, we feel in our heart. So hearing from the person who is practicing the devotional service, that will really help us to proceed in our Pradhana Bhakti. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. There is no question, so we can chant and then Hare Krishna Mahamantra for thanking Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Pancha Kalpataru Krishna Subhas Krishna